The major key to your brighter future is you.
Do something today that you know you should. You've been putting it off, and it seems like it's that big mountain, but you know inside of you that if you do this, something will shift and it will help you. Next Level Nation, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode. It was number 832 with Lorene Kren today for episode number 833. Nothing changes until you do. It is Motivation Monday. Hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend. So, I have some people that I can think about in my past, and these people would ask questions, and they'd say, hey, I feel a certain way, I'm struggling with this, and there'd be a lot of emotion behind these requests for help. I would send books, I would send speeches, I would be there to coach these people and help these people, I would pour into them, but nothing ever changed. Why? Because you have to do the work. Somebody can give you all the answers, they can give you all the inspiration, they can give you all the motivation, they can give you the cheat codes, but if you do not decide that you are going to show up and do the work, nothing is going to change. Nothing changes until you do. So after you hear this episode today, I want you to get clear on where do you feel the most stuck, where do you feel trapped, where do you feel like you're not making progress. Really, really think about that, and then focus on that one thing. So if you're a business owner and you're thinking, oh, I really wish I could make more money. When's the last time you read a book on sales? Oh, it's been a long time. Cool. Go do that. Okay. And part 2 of the action from this episode, do something today that you know you should. You've been putting it off and it seems like it's that big mountain, but you know if you do this thing, it might only take 5 minutes. It might take 10. Maybe it's a 45-minute task, but you know inside of you that if you do this, something will shift and it will help you. I know it's a pain in the butt. I have those things. Alan has those things as well, but you're always grateful you did them. And oftentimes it unlocks something. You realize, oh, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was, or, oh, I learned something in the process that I can now take into my future. Nothing changes until you do first.
Why doesn't everyone have the body of their dreams? Why doesn't everyone have the relationship of their dreams? Why doesn't everyone have the financial success of their dreams? Why doesn't everyone live where they want to live and do what they want to do? The answer is that they have not worked and earned that through their own self-improvement. Some people have and some people haven't. I know some people who are extremely healthy but not wealthy. I know some people who are extremely, extremely wealthy, but not healthy. I know some people that are healthy and extremely wealthy, but they do not have a magnificent, intimate relationship. Health, wealth, and love. I wrote this down. Your mother could change. Your father could change. Your siblings could change. The economy could change. But what would that actually do for your life? Really contemplate that for a second. What would that do? Okay, if the economy gets a little better, yeah, you'll do a little better. The only thing that really you have control over is what you say, what you think, what you do, what you feel, and what you believe. If you improve, everything in your life will improve. If you improve, every conversation in your life will improve. If you improve, every decision you make will improve. If you improve, every person you attract will improve. I remember at the beginning of COVID, Kevin, myself, and our dear friend Mark Metry, we were in a private gym in his complex where he lives because the other gyms were closed. And it was the very beginning of COVID. We did not understand what was happening. Everything was closing down. It felt like so uncertain and so overwhelming. And I remember Mark, myself, and Kevin were sitting at a table because this place basically had a gym, it had a basketball court, and then it had a relaxing area with tables and chairs and like a kitchen sort of area, common area. Kevin, myself, and Mark, 3 of us, picture this, 3 of us sitting down, 1 table, 3 chairs. We each have our notebooks out, writing down how we're going to redesign our lives in 2020. At the beginning of 2020, we redesigned and reevaluated all of our. So I'll give you one tangible example. Kevin and I co-hosted 3 events. We co-hosted an event with Joyce. We co-hosted an event with Eddie Pinero. We co-hosted an event with Joanna DePena. Your Role Within Live, Top Notch Live, and Confident Women's Consortium. We were on an event train, so to speak. That was our main thing at the time, other than the podcast, of course, but we were really trying to ramp up live events. COVID happens, live events no longer happen, and so we had to stop that train. Like many speakers, their careers really came to a halt in many regards. We redesigned 2020 to involve virtual masterminds. That's where the virtual live podcast Q&A is what it's called now. But at one point, it was literally a meetup. Or no, it was a mastermind first. Then it became a meetup on Zoom. Then eventually it became a live podcast. And now it's a live podcast still. And now we're 90 weeks in. At the very beginning of COVID, that wasn't even a thing. So nothing in your life will improve until you improve. When the whole world was freaking out, Kevin, Mark, and I were redesigning the way in which we want to live. We were thinking about how we're going to come out of this better. That was the main question. How are we going to come out of this better? And we all wrote it all down. And here we are at the tail end of 2021, nearly 2 years later, and everything has proliferated. And I still look at that one moment when the whole world was freaking out and us sitting there in our journals reinventing ourselves. That's what this episode's about. Nothing will change until you change. Everything outside of us was changing, and we had to change ourselves in order to stay on the trajectory that we wanted towards our dreams, and that's what we're saying to you today.
In episode 831, a couple days ago, we talked about identity. Imagine having the identity of somebody who is in control of their future. That's what we're talking about in this episode. When you identify as I am the person who is going to change my life and I'm going to make the future that I want, I'm going to design it, you are in charge and you are changing everything about your reality. If you're the type of person who, and again, I've been here, so I'm not talking down to this, but if you hope that things are going to get better, or if you wish that things are going to get better, they're only going to get better if everything else does. And like Alan said, you are the catalyst. So if you focus on improving yourself, your life will follow. That's the way it works. And I'm a great example of this, not to talk myself up, but what has changed in my life? Everything. But what did it start with? Me. It started with me pouring into my own self-improvement and personal development. And as I leveled up as a human, my results leveled up too. And I very much was the type of person who was hoping and wishing and just hoping I got lucky very early in the journey. And now it's about the work. And at the end of the day, it is up to you. It is up to you. And it's empowering to believe that. It might seem weird. It might seem like a stretch for you to have that thought and that belief and that identity, but you can get it. You can adopt that for sure.
Ready, Kev?
Yes.
I told you I'd say this and then we'll go.
Yes.
The major key to your brighter future is you. Kevin's whole life is, from my perspective, 10 times better than it was when we first met or teamed up because you're 10 times better. And that's what we're really trying to say. Your life won't improve until you do. And this is Motivation Monday. I hope that gives you the kick in the butt you need to really get after it. I know it's the holidays. I know it's the new year. And everybody's going to be up and at 'em. Play the long game this year. Make 2022 different. And don't just set a new resolution and then forget about it a month later. Set a new intention for your life. Not for just 2022, but for your life.
Speaking of New Year, we are coming up on the new year. 2022 will be here before you know it. January 4th, our 5th round of group coaching is starting. Alan and I, bi-weekly calls, a group of 9 other people, tracking your habits, making sure you're the most productive, fulfilled version of yourself, successful, whatever that means to you. Everything you need to know is in the show notes below and on our website. Make sure you sign up because we are only doing one of those per quarter. So I think the next one is in April. So if you miss out, you'll have to wait a few months, but this is the way to level up your life. And if you're a listener, amazing. We are super grateful for each and every one of you. This is a deeper dive. This will get you more results because you'll be taking action with other people who want to get to their next level as well.
Again, group coaching, this is not opening again until April. We're only ever taking 10 people at a time. So if this podcast, if you sit there and go, you know what, how much has this podcast changed my life? Picture whatever that amount is in your consciousness and 10x that. That's what group coaching is designed for.
Next Level Nation tomorrow for episode number 834. It's last week's live podcast that Alan was talking about. 5 hard truths that help you grow. Some of the most difficult conversations have cultivated the most growth in myself and for Alan, so we wanted to pass that on to the listeners. As always, at Next Level U, we do not have fans, we have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Let's reach out.